Welcome to I Love Manchester, our guide to the successes and secrets of our city. Hello and welcome to I Love Manchester. Today we're getting to the bottom of why we really are a great city. We'll be looking at the present day foundations of Manchester, how they formed the backbone of transport links for the Industrial Revolution, and how they were used to save lives during the Second World War. In today's episode of I Love Manchester, we're lucky enough to visit one of these spaces beneath our city, and our guide is local author Keith Warrender. Keith, I can't imagine many people really think about what's underground Manchester.
I guess not. I mean, I was just interested in the subject quite a few years ago, and I just thought it would be nice to explore just what was below the streets of Manchester. I just thought that there must be something below, and I had read one or two bits and pieces about the subject, so I knew there were various canals and other underground routes.
Well, exactly what is underground Manchester?
Well, there are industrial workings, there are crypts, there are water wheels, canal tunnels, even a so-called top-secret government installation.
You mean like a nuclear bunker?
It was top secret for many years, but it was decommissioned in the 1960s, so much more is known about that underground network today.
How accessible are these spaces?
The visitors can't go down that one because BT say it's a very secure cable route, so they don't want the public going down. Various other routes and tunnels beneath the city exist, but for various reasons the owners, for example Manchester Council, won't let the public into one particular one because it would be rather dangerous and expensive to have people on hand if you went down. Other places are known about, but we don't know where the access points are, and sadly other underground routes have been bulldozed or simply built over.
What types of spaces are underground then?
Well, it ranges from the very small to just simply cellars or small watercourses that have been culverted to much larger industrial workings. There were quite a few around Ardwick, massive sequences of caverns. We can go further around and we can see around Stockport the air raid shelters, and near Worsley there's a massive 50-mile network of tunnels to bring coal from the mines there into Manchester.
I suppose people have to be careful when building properties as to what lies beneath.
Yes, you never quite know what might be beneath your property. There could be brooks or even mine workings.
If you couldn't access all of these spaces, how have you been able to write a book about it?
Well, there have been several people who have done some very important research on the subject, and I've really built on what they've found. I've been very reliant on people telling me what they've found, because quite clearly you can't see tunnels, so you are reliant on other people telling you.
Is it exciting going underground then?
It is. Clearly it's very dark, and but the spaces are very large, and when you do see them it's very impressive, and there's all sorts of features down there that I think will quite surprise you.
Are there rats?
Hopefully not. There are rat traps, but I've not seen any while I've been down there.
So it's quite sinister then?
Yes, it is. It is. You'll enjoy it.
Myself and Keith are very nearly underground Manchester. How do we get down there?
Well, we're going to go down these stairs about 40 feet, and then we'll be able to move through the tunnel.
Well, we've got our torches. Shall we go?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Very long bars, couldn't you?
Yeah, that'd be ace. That's a good idea.
Drop by the time you got to the end of the bar.
Yeah.
Well, they suggested doing that down in the nuclear bunker.
what are these marks on the wall?
This is the sandstone rock. This is what, of course, what Manchester is built upon, and this is ideal tunnelling stone. That's why there are so many underground routes beneath the city.
Years of hard work.
Yeah, but actually very easy to cut through.
Oh wow! Where are we here?
We're now standing beneath the goods yard of the old central station.
What exactly was it used for down here?
Well, the canal came up to this point, and then goods could be taken from the goods station down into the tunnel and sent off via the Manchester docks.
So really, this was the hub of transport networks?
Yes, it was. It was all part of the Great Northern Complex.
And that was massive in the Industrial Revolution, wasn't it?
Well, actually, this part of the tunnel really didn't get going until the late 1800s and was really only in operation for about 20 years.
And back then, what would it have looked like in here?
Well, at this point, the tunnel would have come out into the open air, and then when they built Central Station and the goods yard, at that point it was covered over, and it must have looked then as it does today.
Why did it become derelict?
Well, it was used, further along the tunnel was used as an air raid shelter, but this part I don't think was used for that purpose. It was probably not safe enough, so this has remained pretty open and derelict ever since the canal ceased to be used, around about 1922.
How many toilets are left?
Just one. I mean, if you're desperate, you might find it a bit of a problem finding it in the darkness, but there is one remaining, one rather rusty toilet.
I wonder why there's just one that's there.
I don't know, it's just been retained as a souvenir. There was also, at one time, a very rusty old ARP warden's helmet here, but that seems to have disappeared.
Mm. Well, I hope the toilet's empty now.
You can go and have a look if you want to.
Yeah, you're all right. So, what about signs here?
Well, there is a sign that's repeated in several places, and it's hardly decipherable these days, but I have seen another copy of it elsewhere. And what it does, it basically warns people that there must be no drinking or unseemly behaviour, no gambling, no swearing, because of the mixed company down here.
But all sorts went on then down here.
It must have been a very boring time for many people if they couldn't do those sort of things, but nevertheless, yes, it was quite a sensible precaution.
I bet they got up to all sorts. They say affairs happened in the air raid shelters, a lot of affairs.
I'm sure they did, but people have not really told me about those.
Of all the places that you've visited in underground Manchester, where's your favourite?
Well, so far this must be. There's so much to see, and it's quite an impressive site, I'm sure you'll agree. But the research goes on, so we'll have to wait and see what else I can find about underground Manchester.
It's incredible, really, that people won't know about down here. They think present-day Manchester is how it always has been. It's been on that level.
That's right. I mean, if you go to the Mitre Hotel by the cathedral, there's talk of a tunnel below there, but really I think that is actually the original street level of Manchester, because over the years the level of Manchester has been cranked up to tie in with the levels of the train stations and also around the cathedral area, which was quite a high point of the city.
It's a shame, isn't it, that it's not used down here more?
Yes, it's a fantastic space just waiting to be exploited.
So now you've written the book Underground Manchester, what's next?
Well, since I've written the book, I've received quite a bit of extra information from people who have seen the first edition, so I'm hoping that there will be another book on the subject.
Thank you very much.